Okay, so you guys asked for my 2 cents, and I'm going to give you my 2 cents on what's happening with the real estate industry in regards to the NAR settlement. I have to mention, though, that there's a lot of posts saying the whole 6% commission on selling a home is gone. That, guys, is clickbait. The seller was never required to give 6%. They always had the right to decide what they would give for a commission. The commission then goes to the listing brokerage, who then gives a part of the commission to the selling brokerage. The correct terminology for a buyer's brokerage. And even before this whole ordeal, sellers could give nothing if they wished to a selling brokerage. Keep in mind, it wasn't until a few years ago that people complained about being more transparent with the selling brokerage commission. So then the industry had to pivot and change to add the commission amount on listings. So in some ways, we're kind of going backwards. Now, one of the main changes of this is going to be disclosures. And if you're an experienced real estate agent, you'll know that our contracts change all the time, as well as their disclosures. Sometimes it changes multiple times a year. Time changes things, and things must change with the time. And people simply do not like change and do not like to get uncomfortable. Which, fun fact, our first part of dues recently, 35% of agents did not renew. And I think that number is going to be closer to 40 to 45% on the next renewal period, as well as our fees are going to go up. Real estate, simply put it, is not easy. And this is going to weed out a lot of agents as well as loan officers. And while we're on the topic of contracts, as a seller or buyer, you want an agent that fully understands the contracts, the addendums, the disclosures, and all the changes that are currently happening, not just with the lawsuits, but locally, nationally. And for those thinking, wow, $418 million seems really high because NAR sold us out, remember the original amount was over $1 billion. And if you agents remember when you went through real estate school and had to learn about this, and loan officers, same thing. I'm going to give you a quick history lesson. There's a thing called the Sherman Antitrust Act, which was created in 1890, a federal statute that prohibits activities that restrict interstate commerce and competition in the marketplace. It outlaws any contract, conspiracy, or combination of business interest in restraint of foreign or interstate trade. So that initial $1.8 billion would have gone up to $5.4 billion. So yeah, there's going to be changes for buyers in the near future, depending on the market, the home, the seller, the situation. Buyers might have to now pay for their own representation. And let me put it this way. A big reason why you hire representation is so you have some level of protection. Our contracts, disclosures, addendums, our experience, you pay for your doctor, you pay for your attorneys, you pay for tax professionals. So you might now have to pay us, the real estate agent. So I highly suggest you find one that's going to be able to negotiate on your behalf and his experience. And who knows, if you have an experienced agent who can negotiate for you, you might not have to pay for your representation. Will this affect the housing market? Yeah, it will. Who will it primarily affect? I think it's going to affect our clients, buyers and sellers, first-time home buyers, specifically those obtaining government loan programs, those that might not be putting a lot down. I think it will also affect sellers too, depending on the property, the seller or agent situation. You might not get as many offers. You might even get offers below market. Companies like Zillow will also be impacted. If we take a look at the recent stock market, Zillow's stock dropped 15% right after the announcement. They'll also have to make changes in how they do business, hence why they've been getting rid of their Zillow Premier program, where agents can pay for the zip codes to get leads. And just recently, in the past year, they started Zillow Flex on the listing side. This is a pay-at-close type lead system for big teams. They have Zillow Flex for buyer side as well. Eventually, I do think Zillow is going to say, hey, teams, you like our lead system? You either join us and be a flat fee / employee or leave. And many agents depend on the leads to get by. So you can't hate Zillow and major corporations like them. They had a plan and they implemented it. If agents are no longer part of Zillow, they'll need to learn how to be full-time agents, network, find clients, prospect. I think this will also make a lot of teams have a huge exodus of agents. Many people got their licenses during the pandemic thinking it was going to be so easy, and they joined these teams thinking that they were going to make a lot of money. Well, guess what? Zillow also increased their referral fee. Keep in mind, guys, this all has to get approved first. And if it does, the changes will take effect around July, but we could see some state changes early on. Am I personally worried? No. I accept change because it's inevitable, and I pivot early because I always want to be ahead of when these changes take place. So my clients don't have to worry because they know they're in the best hands. So reach out if you guys have any questions. That's my 2 cents. More than happy to help.